Welcome to another TechHelp video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to talk about accounts payable, right? How to track vendor payments, bills, business expenses, all that stuff in Microsoft Access. And over the next couple of videos, we're going to build a nice little pretty accounts payable system just for you. What is accounts payable? When I first started my first business, I had no idea what these terms meant. Accounts receivable, accounts payable. So let me take a minute just for those of you who might not know what these terms mean. In business, accounts receivable are payments that customers owe you, that you can expect to receive, to come in. Accounts payable are the opposite, payments that you owe to somebody else, money expected to go out. So think of payables like rent, utility bills, vendor invoices, service providers, anything where you've received a bill and need to pay it. And even if you're not running a business, you can still think of your monthly list of bills you got to pay, right? Your cable bill, your phone bill, those can be considered payables, and you can use this database for your personal expenses too if you want. So that's what we're going to build in this little Tech Help series, and this guy looks way too happy to be writing a check. I don't know. Now, before we get started, most of this will be done at the expert level, which I consider to be sandwiched in the middle of beginner and developer. That means it's a little bit beyond the basics. I'm going to tell you what prerequisites you need in just a minute, but it's not quite developer level material. You don't need to know VBA to do most of the stuff I'm going to show you. I am going to sprinkle in a few advanced tidbits here and there for the advanced users. Okay, but most of what we're going to do, you can make this functional without any VBA. But VBA makes it cool though. So a few prerequisites for you. If you have not watched my video on how I build my blank template, this covers all the basics, how you make a main menu, a customer form, all that stuff. And it's the starting point for most of my videos, including this one. I talk about all my preferences and the way I have things set up and, overlapping windows instead of tabbed interface, all that stuff. So go watch this video first. You're definitely going to need to know how to use query criteria. Continuous forms, that's where you got forms with multiple records on them. Relationships, real big one, understanding how tables relate to one another. This separates Access from things like Excel. Relational combo boxes, that's getting a list of values from another table. And another one I like to throw in most of my videos is this ISO date format. I use the ISO date format because I have students all around the world, and a lot of times people have problems because I do stuff specifically to my date format, which I'm in America, so we go month, day, year, whereas a lot of the world goes day, month, year. And so I just decided to switch everything to this. It's the same for everybody, so go watch this if you're curious. These, by the way, are all free videos. They're on my website. They're on my YouTube channel. Go watch those and then come on back. There may be some more sprinkled in here and there, and if so, I'll give you the links when we get to them. All right? Okay. All right, so the first thing we need is a place to store information about our payees, the people that we need to send money to. Now, you might be thinking, well, we can just create a separate table just for payees. That sounds reasonable, right? But if you look at how a lot of databases are built, you'll often see separate tables for things that basically contain the same data. Customers, employees, vendors, utility companies, aunts and uncles, whatever, right? The problem is, all of those tables end up storing basically the same kind of information. Name, company, address, email address, phone number, right? Basically duplicating tables for no good reason. You might have one or two different fields, right? Vendors, for example, might have a few different fields in them than employees, but basically it's mostly the same stuff. So instead, I find it's better to store them all in a single table. In this case, we're going to use the existing customer T table that we have in the blank template, and we'll just add a field or two to indicate whether or not someone is a payee. That way, if you want to pull a list of payees, we can just filter out for those records. Same goes for vendors. You can add an is vendor field, right? Here's a perfect real-world example that happened to me. Sometimes your customers can also become payees. Back when I lived in Buffalo, I had my computer business there. I sold computers, did networking, service, all that stuff. Had a training room. I had a customer, Mike Masman from Buffalo Embroidery, great guy. He would buy computer stuff and services from me, and in return, I would order shirts and other items from him for my employees, back when I actually had employees still. Now, rather than store Mike's information in two different tables, right, a customer table and a vendor table, it made sense to keep it all in one table and just mark him as a payee. Quick shout out to Mike. I haven't talked to Mike in a few years now since I moved to Florida, but if you happen to be in the Buffalo area, check him out. I'll drop a link to his website down below. Make sure you tell him I said hi. All right, so let's head over to the database. This is the TechHelp free template. You can grab a copy of this off my website if you want to. And here I got a customer list, right? Now, I just call everybody customer, but this is going to include everybody we deal with, customers, vendors. And if you want to rebuild this from the ground up and call it like entity, I've done this in other databases, right? That way you don't get confused. Well, this person isn't a customer. That's the electric company. They're buying stuff from us. No. It's just everybody's just in customer. It's just a name, okay? Now, let's go edit our customer table because we're going to put some stuff in here to indicate whether or not this customer is a payee. So come down to the bottom, and we're going to put, I thought about hijacking is active, but we're going to keep that for something separate. So I'm going to make this is payee, because you can have payees who are no longer active, but you might want to indicate that they used to be payees, right? All right, so is payee, that'll be a yes or no. I'm going to make the default value no, because by default, when you add new people, they're probably not payees until you mark them a payee. Now, we also might want to know what type of payee this is. This might help later on when tax season comes around. You can figure out, well, we spent this much on utility, this much for cost of goods sold, all that stuff, right? So here we're going to put a payee category ID. That's going to be a number of type long integer, and that's going to relate to a payee category table that we'll make in just a few minutes. But here we're just storing the number, the ID, right? Basic relationships 101. Okay. One more thing we're going to add, and this is because, at least in my experience, a lot of payees, I don't have a personal contact there, right? Like Verizon. Oh, someone's beaming in. Right? In a lot of these cases, you deal with companies. So we're going to put a company name in here, something that I did not put in the TechHelp free template because we just assumed it was all consumers. And later on, I'll show you how to make a query that it'll pick either the company name or the person. So if there's no company name there, you'll get the person's name. We'll do that later, though. Okay? All right, save it, Control S, close it, and let's make that payee category table. So create, table design, payee category ID, that's my auto number, right? We've got the description and maybe notes, right? Long text, whatever else you want to put in here about that category. And we'll save this as my payee category T for table. Yes for the primary key, and we'll put some sample records in here. We've got utilities. How about communications? I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Communications for like your cell phone and your internet service and all that stuff. Cost of goods sold. Well, we'll just put COGS. I know someone's going to ask me later, what is COGS? Right? Rent or mortgage or whatever. Put your list of your payment category types in here. Vendors. All right, big one. All right, that's good enough. All right, save it, close it. Now let's put that stuff on our customer form. So right click, design view. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the company name up top here. Like so. And I'm going to copy first name, copy, paste, and I'm going to slide it up here and get it in there, right? All right, and we'll put in here company, like that. Double click here. We're going to change the control source to company. It's way on the bottom. And I'm going to copy and paste that into the name field. Make sure your control source and your name are usually the same thing. For text boxes, they almost always are. All right, for things like combo boxes, sometimes I make it different. We also have to now adjust our tab order. Make sure you put the company name first. I think I have customer ID first. Let's go to form design, tab order. But I think I have customer ID, so it's not a tab stop. Let's see. Company name, click again, drag it up top, and let's put it right in front of first name like that. Hit OK, save it, close it, open it, and good, we're sitting on company. Okay, so I'll put in here, computer learning zone. And we got a bunch of other people in here. Enterprise Inc., and so on, right? Okay, there's our company. Now we got to indicate whether or not this person is a payee. So again, I'm going to, for the purposes of class, I'm going to get rid of this stuff. We don't need this here. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to add in my is payee. Don't bring in payee category ID. We're going to make a combo box for that, but I do need is payee, right? And let's grab a little format painter and make this black. Okay. And this, I'm just going to make the label payee, and we're going to slide it over here like that. And now let's make a category combo box to go next to it, right? So find your combo box, drop it down here. I want the combo box to get values from a table or query. Yup. Which table or query has your list of categories? There's the category table right there. Bring over both fields. How do you want to sort it? Description is good. All right, that's what it looks like. The key column is hidden. Next, we're going to store that value. We're picking a category ID, right? A payee category ID. I want to store that value in the payee category ID of the customer table. Okay. Next, what label do you want? Doesn't matter. We're going to delete it in a second. And there it is. And we're going to delete that label that comes in with it and stick this right next to payee, just like that. So now I got the checkbox and whether or not to payee there. All right. Resize this a little bit. Save it. Close it. Open it. Let's mark me a payee, and I'm going to be utilities. All right. Let's mark James Kirk as a payee, and he can be a vendor. See how this works? Pretty straightforward. All right. Deanna Troy. She'll be from Beta Z, the company. She's a payee, and she's communications, of course. Or that would be Worf or whoever. I don't know. Uhura, right? Uhura would be communications. Okay, anyways. So we've got that done. Now, you might not always want to see this combo box if they're not a payee. In fact, right now, there's nothing to stop someone from doing this. And that's not marked. So, wouldn't it be nice if we could hide this if this person is not a payee, right? If this box is checked, either hide this box or disable it. One of the two. I like to hide stuff. Now, this does unfortunately involve a little bit of VBA. I said at the top I wasn't going to be doing a lot of VBA. So if you're not interested whatsoever at all about VBA, you can stop watching right now. But you're not going to miss anything. But I am going to throw in a few tidbits here and there, like how to do this with a little tiny bit of VBA for the advanced students. Okay? So if you're not interested in VBA, just stick around anyways and watch it. This is fun stuff. Okay? If you want to learn some VBA and you don't know it yet and you want to, you're curious, go watch this video. It'll teach you everything you need to know to get started in about 20 minutes. Then you can come back and have fun. All right, so we're going to need a little event when someone clicks on this button and when you go from record to record to hide this box, okay? Now, one thing I don't like about what the wizard does, it doesn't give you an opportunity to name that box. Right now it's combo 32 or 33. So I'm going to rename this to payee category combo. I like to call them combos because sometimes in your VBA, you'll treat combo boxes different than you will just text boxes with an ID in them. So that's why I like to name those combo. It's not a big deal. You can name it ID if you want to, but that's just a me thing. That's a Rick thing. Okay? Now, when this guy's clicked, in the after update event, based on the value here, we're going to show or hide that box. But we also have to show or hide it when we move from record to record. Okay? And since we're going to call the same code from two different places, we're going to make our own little subroutine that does that. So I'm going to go to the checkbox here, go to events, go to after update, right? It's the event that fires after you update the value in that checkbox. That'll bring up your code builder. All right, this guy right here. And we're going to say update payee combo. All right, what is that? What is update payee combo? Well, we're going to make it ourselves. So I'm going to copy that, come right above here, type in private sub update payee combo. This is the stuff that's going to run when is payee after update runs. We're going to come right in here. And this is going to be a real simple if-then statement. It's going to be if is payee, then payee combo, or payee category combo, and spelling is important, dot visible equals true. Else, I'm just going to copy this, so I have to retype it again, right? Payee combo dot visible equals false. End if. Real simple if, then, else, and if statement. Okay, very easy to read. All right, let's see it in action, right? Debug, compile once in a while. That just makes sure all your code is good. Come back over here, save it, close it, open it, click the button. Ooh, look at that. Click the button, and it goes away. Comes back, goes away. Comes back, goes away. Okay? But that's not the only place we need that check to run. Okay, when I move from record to record, I also need it to run, and that is the onCurrent event. The onCurrent event is a form level event, so click right there in that little box right there. Go to events, find onCurrent, click the dot, 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 same thing. Now, we don't want to copy all that code. Copying code in multiple places, bad, very bad. Do not do it, very bad. So I'm going to just take update payee combo, copy that, and stick that right there. So it'll do the same thing, 2 different places. Ready? Save it, close it, open it, and let's move from record to record. And, ooh, look at that. See? None of these guys are payees. So that one is. See? This will be Firefly Inc. Okay, so there's our payees. And as we move from record to record, it shows or hides that combo box. Pretty cool stuff, right? And if we turn that off, we turn that off. One thing you might also want to do is blank that value. You can set that value to 0, which will take it off. But you might want to, you might not want to. That's up to you. You can set the value equal to 0. So if they turn that off, but then, you know, later on in the future, you might turn it back on again, and you might want to know that, okay, utilities was what was in there before. That's up to you. All right, we got lots more coming. This is probably going to be at least a 4 or 5 video series. We're going to cover all the different little aspects you need to have a functional, working accounts payable system. But that's all for today. So tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Or if you're a member, you can keep watching now because I'm going to keep recording. And one of the benefits of being a member is you can watch stuff as soon as I post it. You don't have to wait for it to go public. Plus, you get all of my extended cut videos and all kinds of extra stuff. So sign up now. And if you'd like to learn more about building fully functional accounts payable systems, check out my Access Payables seminar. It covers everything I'm going to show you in this Payable Tech Help series, plus a whole lot more. There's the link. It's on my website. Check it out. But that's going to do it for today, folks. That's the end of part 1. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that Show More link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get 1 free beginner class each month, and yes, those are from my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos. Plus, you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get 1 free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject. and you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.